Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today I figured I need to do a middle grade March TBR. So if you did not know, March is middle grade March. My friends Krista, Katie, and Amanda started this about 8 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long, but I take part every single year ever since I found out about it. I've been a part of it probably for, I would say 5 years. I would say that's about right because I started it probably about a year before I started BookTube, I think. But I have a bunch of middle grade books on my bookshelves. And I figured, why not make a cute little TBR of possibilities that I'm going to be reading for middle grade March. Now, there are a few different prompts as well as a buddy read. So I will link down below the announcement video in the description box if you want to check it out. So the buddy read, which I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Moon Garden. And they're also going to be buddy reading The Secret Garden because The Moon Garden is kind of a remake of The Secret Garden. So they're going to buddy read both of those. And I'm going to really try hard to read both of them because it's been a very long time since I read The Secret Garden. And I really would love to read a kind of remade, redone version of it. I think it's set like in space or something, which I think is really cool. So I'm really excited to read that. And I'm really excited to pick some middle grade books. I'm excited. So without further ado, I have my book cart over there. And I haven't even picked out any books yet. So we're just going to pick out ones that I'm really excited to read. So the first one that I see that I already put on my list for April, but might as well read it in March because it's a middle grade book. So this one is The 14th Goldfish by Jennifer L. Holm. Now, this could technically be 3 names because it does have her third initial in there. I don't know. But this is about a girl who's in school, and somehow, like, her grandfather is a scientist who was obsessed with immortality, and supposedly there's this another kid that comes to her school, and supposedly he is her grandfather as like an 11-year-old boy. So I think this is gonna be such a great read and really fun. I love a good like magical realism type story, so I think this is gonna be lots of fun. One of my favorite middle grade authors is Joan Bauer, and I have read a lot of her books, but I have so many books that I still need to read by her. So I wanted to pick a couple of books that I haven't read yet. I'm probably going to keep that one for fall. But I have this one called Stand Tall, and I think this one is a really good one. This is about a kid who is 6'3" and still growing. And I don't know if this is middle grade or high school because some of her books can be kind of like on the edge of middle grade. Like a lot of her characters are kind of like 12 years old, but then some could be like 16. So I'm not exactly sure how old this kid is in this book. So he could be a teenager, he could be 12 years old because there are 12-year-old 6'3" kids out there. So I am thinking I'm going to put Stand Tall on my list, as well as I think I'm going to go ahead and put Sticks, which is another one of her books on here. This one is about a kid who has a dream about being like a pool player. And his family owns a neighborhood pool hall, and his dad was a champion 9-ball player. So I think this one's going to be kind of interesting. I'm not exactly sure again, how old the character is, but most of her books are very readable, and I would have read them when I was in middle school, maybe even younger. So I'm going to put those two as my Joan Bauer picks, because I do still have a couple of books that I haven't read by her. Like I have Squashed, but I think I'm going to keep that one for fall. And then I also have Almost Home, but I don't know if I want to read like another character with a dog or whatever. I'm not sure, but I think I'm just going to stick with the 2 that I found. So another one of mine, which would fit for a three author name book, is Gail Carson Levine. But I've already read a lot of her books, and I don't know if I actually have any that I haven't read that I own. Because as I said, actually no, I do. I have 2 actually that I have not read. I have Stolen Magic and A Tale of Two Castles. And I'm not sure if these are supposed to go together. They kind of look like they do. I think they do actually. Yeah, so I don't even know which one's which. Like there's not like here's book number 1. But I am going to read these. These are about Elodie. And I don't know which one. As I said, I don't know which one is which. Let's see let's see. I'm trying to find out which one is first. You're not going to help me, are you? I'm trying to figure out which one is which. Okay, so this one was 2011. And this one is, they're probably going to say both 2011, 2015. Okay, so this one's the first one. So this one says, Elodie journeys to the town of Two Castles to become a masoner. Masoner? Yeah, an actress, but the master of the troupe turns her away. The only one who will take Elodie in is Minor, a dragon who happens to be a brilliant detective. To crack Minor's newest case, Elodie goes undercover on a dangerous mission within an ogre's castle. There, disguised as a kitchen maid, Elodie plays the role of a lifetime, pitted against a foe intent on murder. A dragon detective? Are you kidding me? Why have I not read these before? I have no idea. But anyways, so I am really thinking about going ahead and putting those on my list. Now, March is also going to be my mood read March, because oh man, February was a tough month for me. I will just say that. So I just kind of wanted to just pick up a bunch of books that I really wanted to read in March, you know? So this is another one that I really want to read. This is Amal Unbound by Aisha Saeed. And this is about a girl named Amal who dreams about becoming a teacher. But then something happens where she insults a member of her village's ruling family and is forced to work at their estate after that. So this one really intrigues me, and the cover drew me in immediately. So I've been really wanting to read this one for like probably forever since I've had that one. So I have a ton of books. I don't even know where to start because, I mean, I don't have a ton of middle grade. I will say I probably own about 30, I would say, and I've read a majority of them. So that's good actually that I've read quite a few of them. I'm going to put both of these on my list because I have read 2 other books by this author and really enjoy them. So this is by Vera Haran Adani, and I have The Night Diary and How to Find What You're Looking For. And both these covers are really cool. I like these. So this one, The Night Diary. It's set in India and newly freed from British rule in 1947. It's been divided into 2 countries. Hundreds of thousands are killed crossing borders as the tensions between cultures flare. When Papa decides it's too dangerous to stay in their country, Nisha and her family become refugees and embark on a journey by train and by foot to reach their new home. So a lot of her books are based around like refugees, especially in the Middle East. And so I'm really intrigued to check this one out. This is a Newbery Honor book, so I can't wait to read that one. And this one is another, it's got like a couple of different awards on here. And this one is set in 1967. And the U.S. Supreme Court's passage of Loving versus Virginia, a ruling that makes interracial marriage legal in all 50 states, begins a cascade of changes for 12-year-old Ariel Goldberg. Her older sister elopes with a young man from India and moves to New York City despite her Jewish parents' disapproval. Ariel is diagnosed with a learning disability, and her family's Jewish bakery runs into financial trouble. So this is also a really long book for middle grade. It's like 370 plus pages. But again, I really like this author's work, so I have a feeling it's going to be really, really great. All right, I'm going to pick up a couple more. Let's see. I've read one book by that author, but I don't know if I want to read that one. I'm thinking about picking up this author. This is Shouting at the Rain by Linda Mullally Hunt, which is another 3-author name. Did I pick anything with flowers on the cover? Oh, I did. Amal Unbound had flowers on the cover. But I have another book by this author, and I have no idea where it is right now. I wanted to see which one I wanted to read specifically. Okay, there it is. I'm like, I know I have another book by her. I have Fish in a Tree, which I think goes before this one. So I think I'm going to put both of these on my list of middle grades. Fish in a Tree is about Allie, who has been smart enough to fool a lot of smart people. Every time she lands in a new school, she's able to hide her inability to read by creating clever yet disruptive distractions. So I'm really excited about that one. And then this one, Shouting at the Rain, is about Delcy, who loves a good storm, except when the squalls are in her life. Her summer friend Brandy is back on Cape Cod at last, but devastates her by dumping her for a new friend. And she could really use a mom right now, except hers left long ago, and her beloved Grammy won't discuss that, saying it's too painful. So I think both of these are going to be really, really great middle grade reads. And honestly, I binge read middle grade like crazy. Like I get so much reading done during middle grade March. So let's pick a couple more. I wonder if I should put this one on the list. This is called This Is Not a Werewolf Story by Sandra Evans. And it's about, let's see. So it's about a kid who first comes to the one-of-a-kind boarding school. That's why he speaks up for the, that's why, well, we don't know if it's a boy or girl. That's why I speak up for the new kid, even though it shocks everyone. Dean says the new kid has secrets. They can't be anything like mine, can they? So is it a werewolf story? Is it not? I'd like to read it and find out. So we're going to put that one on the list. I don't want to read too much into that one because we don't know. All right, what else do I have as far as middle grade? Ooh, there is another one of Joan Bowers that I want to read. This is Best Foot Forward, which is the sequel to one of her other books, which was, I can't remember the title. It is on my cart, but I'm too lazy to go find it. It's called Rules of the Road. So this is the sequel, Best Foot Forward, and it's about a girl who she has a job that she loves at Gladstone Shoes. And I don't want to spoil myself for the sequel because I haven't read it yet. But the first one I really enjoyed. All right, do we have one or two more that we can go ahead and put on our TBR? It's heading almost to not being wintertime. But I do know that these are really short audiobooks. And I could use some short audiobooks right now. And these covers, I mean, come on. These are the cutest covers I've ever seen as far as middle grade books go. Probably my favorite covers ever for middle grade books. But we have the very, very far north and just beyond the very, very far north. And I think there's a third one. Don't quote me, though. There could just be two. But I've owned these for way too long. I mean, way too long. Actually, most of these middle grade books I've owned way too long. But I just think these would be really cute, especially since it's technically still wintertime and we still have snow on the ground at the end of February. So I'm pretty sure it's still going to be winter in March. And it's not supposed to warm up until my dad's birthday, which is at the end of the month. So it's still winter. But this one, The Very, Very Far North, it's by Dan Barral. And it says, if someday you wander north, truly north, to the northern part of north, and you come across the cold, cold ocean, follow its shoreline to a beach that's just right for napping. There you'll find Dwayne, the polar bear, and his friends. So, love the name Dwayne. It's such a cute name. But yes, I am excited. So, I've got about 10 books on the TBR, and I do want to mood read more than that. So, I'm thinking maybe I'll just stick with that. Although I do have, as I said, I do have a lot of middle grade still. But I don't want, well, actually, I want to put this one on the list because I really do want to read this one. This is called When Life Gives You Mangoes by Corinne Getton. And again, this cover is really pretty, and I do love a good pink cover. So this one says, 12-year-old Clara lives on an island that visitors call exotic, but to Clara, it's just home. The only thing out of the ordinary is that after a hurricane hit, something happened to Clara's memory that made her forget everything from last summer. Sometimes things come back to her in drips like a faucet that hasn't been turned off properly. Clara tries to move on, but it's hard when everyone on the island is treating her like she's broken, especially her best friend and cousin Gaina, who hasn't been acting like a best friend at all lately. So I wonder what happened that summer. So I'm really excited to pick this one up. Yeah. All right. That'll be my last one. So these are all the books that I have planned for middle grade March, if I can lift them up because there's a lot of them. So there they are, all the middle grade March books. And I think there's some really good titles here. So those are all the books that I'm planning on reading next month. And let me know what you are going to read for middle grade March, or what are you going to read in general for March? Because you might not, read middle grade, but why not try one? You never know if you're going to like it or not. And I love middle grade March because middle grade March is, anyone can join in, no matter what age you are. But we really do try to encourage adults to read middle grade. I'm an adult, and I still enjoy middle grade. Why not? Why not? Because they're enjoyable. They're most of the time lighthearted or have a really great lesson involved in all of them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.